Next topic, amendments in the chapter of the returns, right? So the first one, additional cases prescribed wherein a registered person is debarred from furnishing details of outward supply in form GSTR1 or invoice furnishing facility. First of all, there are few cases where the registered persons are debarred from filing of the GSTR1 or invoice furnishing facility. What are those situations? Suppose take an example where a person didn't file the GSTR 3B of the previous tax period, then such person is debarred from filing of return GSTR 1 or invoice furnishing facility in the subsequent tax periods. So where a person didn't file GSTR 3B of the previous tax period, then he is debarred from filing of the GSTR from filing of the current tax period GSTR 1 or invoice furnishing facility. Suppose where a registered person is liable for filing of the quarterly return. What's that? Quarterly return. Suppose where a registered person didn't file the GSTR 3B of the previous quarter, automatically is debarred from filing of the GSTR 1 or invoice furnishing facility of the current tax period, right? Like this, few cases are covered where the registered person debarred from filing of the GSTR1 or invoice furnishing facility. Now two more cases has been added. That is a new amendment. Those two cases are: number one, a registered person to whom an intimation has been issued on the common portal under the provisions of Rule 88D1. So what is the Rule 88D? Now it is a new amendment. Manner of dealing of difference in ITC available in auto-generated statement containing the details of ITC and that availed in return prescribed. So auto-generated is nothing but GSTR 2B and ITC availed in return is nothing but GSTR 3B. GSTR 2B, as you know that it is auto-populated statement for availment of ITC, and GSTR 3B is the return which is filed by the registered person. Now if there is any difference, huge difference between GSTR 2B and GSTR 3B, such difference will be communicated by the system itself. And suppose if there is a huge deviation or any other matters as may be prescribed by the government, by referring to those elements, the system will generate a notice, and such notice will be sent through mail to the registered person. Now when such notice has been received by the registered person, he has to respond and give such response within the 7 days, within a period of 7 days. Otherwise, if there is any deviation, accept the liability and discharge such excess tax liability along with the interest. Suppose as per GSTR 2B, let us assume as per GSTR 2B, you are eligible to claim ITC of 6 lakhs. But as per GSTR 3B, you availed excess credit an amount of the 8 lakhs. Now, such deviation has been analyzed by the system and a mail has been sent to you. That is, a notice has been sent through mail. Now, suppose being a registered person, you accepted the deviation. Arey yaar, actually, I am the person who knows about the excess availment of the ITC. I don't know that. Who intimated to the department, and again, department served a notice about the excess ITC. This is a wonder, but whatever it is, a mistake has been identified by the department. Now the notice has been sent, and when the registered person accepted such liability, right? When registered person accepted such liability, no more dispute, no more prosecution, just pay the tax liability along with the interest. Otherwise, if there is any genuine reason, there is a difference between GSTR 2B and GSTR 3B, and for such excess availment of ITC, if there is a reason, give such explanation within 7 days, right? Your explanation is satisfactory, the prosecution will be dropped. No more further proceedings. Or suppose if you paid the excess tax liability or excess ITC availed along with the interest, again no more dispute, no more prosecution, proceedings will be dropped. Suppose You are not willing to give any response to the department. That is, you didn't provide any explanation, proper explanation to the department, number one. And number two, such excess ITC not reversed or not paid. In such a situation, the department may serve the notice or start the recovery, or department will serve the demand notice under section 73 or 74. If it is not a fraud cases, 73. In case of the fraud cases, 74. It will be depend upon the case. Notice will be served. Are you clear? Any doubt? Actually, this is the concept of Rule 88D, the new provision. See here, manner of dealing with the difference of ITC. A mechanism has been devised which allows system-based intimation to the, what's it called? System-based intimation to the taxpayer about the excess availment of ITC in Form GSTR 3B vis-a-vis that reported in Form GSTR 2B. Above particular threshold and with provisions of the for self-compliance on the portal by the said taxpayer. Consequently, new Rule 80D has been introduced to give a system-based intimation to the registered person in those cases where the difference between the ITC availed as per GSTR 3B and that available as per GSTR 2B exceeds such amount. So, just if there is any difference, prima facie you won't get notice, right? If it exceeds such amount and such percentage as may be recommended by the council. Are you getting my word? So the system will analyze what is the difference between GSTR 2B and 3B. Suppose acceptable risk given, the acceptable risk is 10%. When such deviation is up to 10%, you won't get any automatic notice. Suppose where such deviation exceeds 10%, right, automatically it is triggered by the such percentage as may be prescribed by the council, so that automatically you will get a notice, right? In such a case, the registered person shall be directed to pay an amount equal to the said excess amount of ITC availed along with the interest or give a reasonable explanation. Any one of them. Pay the excess ITC along with the interest or give a reasonable explanation, right? And if the neither of these done, you didn't provide any explanation or you are not willing to pay any amount, then the amount can be demanded under section 73 or 74. And next, this provision would help in safeguarding the revenue by the controlling the difference between ITC availed in Form GSTR 3B and that available as per GSTR 2B. So where a person is fraudulently availing ITC, to safeguard the revenue from those type of the registered person, this provision will be helpful. So that new Rule 88D provides as follows. Where the amount of ITC availed by the registered person in the return for a tax period furnished by him GSTR 3B exceeds the ITC available to such person in accordance with the auto-generated statement containing the details of ITC form GSTR 2B in respect of the said tax period by specified amount and percentage, the said registered person shall be given an intimation in prescribed form, the same content, right? Now, in such a situation, either he has to pay or he has to provide the explanation within 7 days, right? Now, pay an amount equal to the excess ITC as specified in intimation, fully or partially, along with the interest payable, then through prescribed form and furnish the details thereof electronically on the common portal, or furnish the reply. Either you have to pay or you have to provide the reply. Respect of the amount of excess ITC availed, that are still reminded to be paid within 7 days of period. So within 7 days you have to give a response if there is a genuine reason. Otherwise you have to pay. Otherwise what will happen? The prosecution might be started under section 73 or 74. Are you clear? This is the Rule 88D. Suppose when such type of the rule, when such type of the notice given under under Rule 88D, and you didn't given any response, then what will happen? Then what will happen? You are not eligible to file either GSTR 1 or IFF. Are you clear? What are the situations where the registered person debarred from filing of the return, that is GSTR 1 or IFF? The first thing, where a registered person didn't file the GSTR 3B of the previous tax period, he is not eligible to file the return under the current tax period, GSTR 1 or IFF. First one. If you want to file GSTR 1 or IFF of the current tax period, you must file GSTR 3B of the previous tax period. If you didn't file GSTR 3B of the previous tax period, you are debarred from filing of GSTR 1 or IFF of the current tax period. That is the first one. And the second one, where a registered person didn't file GSTR 3B of the previous quarter, he is ineligible or he is debarred from filing of the GSTR 1 or IFF on quarterly basis. Likewise, two amendments are given here. Again, two situations has been notified, out of which the first situation where a notice has been given under section 88D, that is system generated statement. Where a system generated statement has been given, you have to make the payment or you have to give the reply within 7 days. If neither of thing done so, what will happen? You are debarred from filing of the GSTR1 or invoice furnishing facility. That is the first amendment. And the second one, where a registered person shall not be allowed to file GSTR1 or IFF if he has not furnished the details of the bank account as per the provisions of the rule 10A. We discussed about the new amendment in relating to the 10A also. What's the time limit? What's the time limit for providing of the bank account details? 30 days from the date of the registration, number 1, or number 2, due date for filing of the return under section 37, that is GSTR1 or IFF, whichever is earlier. Actually, at the time of the registration itself, we will provide the bank account details, right? Suppose if you didn't given any bank account details at the time of the registration, still you have an option or opportunity to provide the bank account details after the registration, provided such details must be given within 30 days from the date of the registration, number 1, or number 2, on or before, that is a due date for filing of the return under section 37, whichever is earlier, right? Suppose if you are reluctant to provide the bank account details, then you are debarred from filing of the return GSTR1 or IFF, right? From the examination point of view, it might be given like as a theoretical question also, right? Very important. So these are the two amendments which came into the picture in the chapter of the returns, right? I think we're done with an amendments concept which are applicable for 2024 May or June examination. We covered each and every aspect of the amendments in detail. And one more thing, whatever the practical examples or practical concepts we discussed in notes, with few modifications, there may be a chance you will get a direct question in your examination, right? So for each and every provision, we discuss with a one practical example also, right? Those practical examples are nowhere specified. Just we are considering those practical examples by referring to the amendment, so that go with these short notes and refer one twice or thrice before going to the examination, right? All the best. I hope you got a clear picture about the all the amendments and you are able to insert all these amendments at the respective provision and the respective chapter. All the best. Thank you.